Hi influencers, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nkechi. There's a video I posted about the RHIA and why a lot of people don't obtain that credential. One of the defining factors was that they did not care to be in a leadership role. And this is so true. I've interviewed a lot of people and I've spoken to a lot of people, and they don't care to be in any type of management, leadership, becoming a boss, becoming a manager, any of those roles that holds a lot of responsibilities. And usually when you're obtaining your RHIA, because that is one of the top, if not the top credentials you can get under the AHIMA umbrella, you want to make sure that, is this something I want to do? It is great to obtain it. I am an advocate for obtaining your credentials, especially after you've done all that studying. So a lot of people ask, well, if I am in that leadership role, and what I feel, or how do I feel? What do I think? Etc., etc. So I wanted to bring this video back to you all to let you know there are lots of pros and cons, negatives and positives when it comes to a leadership role in HIM. That's my focus. So I am a leader in HIM. I do hold a leadership role, and I do manage a large volume of people, a lot of people. And I wanted to just kind of give you guys a take as to how I feel about my role, or how do I feel about leadership role. Now, this is not my first leadership role, and so I just wanted to let you guys know that it is challenging. It is something that requires a lot of things that you have to do, a lot of expectation, responsibilities, duties, and working for the organization that I do. It has not been easy. I do love my role, but having to meet the expectations that I have, deadlines, deliverables, has not been easy peasy for me. I do think it's something that I challenge myself to do. I like to challenge myself, and I like to get as much as I can get done at a certain amount of time and try to reach certain goals. So being in that leadership role, it puts you at that position where you have to set goals, and you have to try to make sure that your deliverables are done timely while managing your team and ensuring that they're meeting productivity, etc. So I do manage time, I manage productivity, I provide training, I also create workflows, processes for my team. I control meetings, conduct meetings, create presentations, and I do a lot of different things for my facility in my area. I do focus more on data integrity of a patient's chart, and I do have 2 different sets of groups that work under me. So I do think it's a great thing to have that skill set under your belt if you do feel like you're someone who you want to get into a leadership role. I think it's great to do it, but it is very challenging. And for me, I think some of my challenges are because I am a mom of 3 children in different areas of their educational path. I do have a child in middle school, 1 in high school, and 1 in college. And then I myself, I am also in school pursuing my master's degree. Being that I'm trying to get that done, I'm a wife, and being a boss is a whole lot to try to add in and try to manage and make sure that you do well in those things, in those areas as a mom, and encouraging my children with their educational path. And then as a boss, encouraging and building my staff to do well in their role, making sure that they are productive in their roles, and if they're not, taking those measures to try to make sure that they're doing better, and how could we, help them out. And then also meeting the requirements that I need to meet for my boss and for her boss. Everything trickles up to leadership, the directors, the senior directors, the VP. So it's a lot that you have to think of when you want to get into a leadership role. The RHIA is extremely important to get because it markets you amongst the others. And it shows that you do have the ability to go far beyond just the basic. With the RHIA, it is an administrator or administrative credentials, which puts you in that bracket as to someone who may feel like they need to gear towards leadership, and it gives you that opportunity. So being in the field, it is challenging. I do love what I do. I just feel that I need a little bit more time to acclimate myself in that role. There are lots of things that I'm doing. I am pushing to hurry up and graduate, which I should be doing in a few months. Yes. And that's going to be great because it gives me time to now sit back, relax, and really, really observe what I'm doing and what I could do better in my role. Now, I did decide to juggle master's program in this field as well. I had started it before I got my position, but I decided to continue my education while I'm in this role. It wasn't easy. I've had a few hiccups where I've had to pause on a class or two, but I will be graduating soon. And I think that's going to give me a little wiggle room to do what I need to do. So when a lot of people ask that question, how do you feel? What are you doing? What do you do? I do quite a lot of different things, and I could break them down for you. Let me know if you want more videos like this where I talk about my role. I want to do some day in the life of, so you guys can see that, or do I work from home? But I still am required to meet expectations from my boss, from my leaders, from my organization. And you are graded on these things. So you do get those annual evaluations that are done. And so you want to make sure that you're meeting those standards, meeting the responsibilities that you are hired for. If you decide to explore something in leadership, just know that you're going to have high expectations. You're going to be involved in a lot of meetings. You're going to have a lot of workflow processes to develop from scratch. These are like developing the black and whites for those, the step by steps. Another thing to keep in mind is if you are the expert in that area that you are managing. For example, if you're a coding manager and you are the expert in coding, the expectations might be that you have to create those workflows and processes. So for me, I am the subject matter expert. So it is expected that if you are the subject matter expert, your bosses, your manager, your leadership may expect you to do some of those things. Being in a leadership role is something that you can expect to always be challenging, but very rewarding. And for me, I think the good has outweighed the bad. And I use the bad, not really the bad, I use the things that are challenging to try to learn and improve on what I need to do for myself. I hope you found this video to be helpful. Comment down below and I'll see you on the next one.